There was 11 goats today, including a lot who got milked, and this baby goat that was born 2 days ago that was the star of the show. Simple designs like the shade sails at Depot Park or the new trail connection into the park are just some ways community input can really improve a public space. And I'm Tessa Bentulan. Because of these spills, sewage water flows directly into the Withlacoochee River and downstream as far as the Suwannee and Santa Fe rivers. Supporters of victims can sign this pledge and take this pamphlet that has long-term support services and the local hotline to the Rape Crisis Center. According to GPD, they will enact a new policy to improve communications with trans people. With this policy, officers like Cabot will be able to better approach them and make them feel at ease when talking to police. How to stop dog attacks in Gainesville? That's the question facing commissioners as community members demand answers. When WUFT's Meredith Sheldon visited Parkland, she found they're hardening the school and their own resolve. Some of the purpose of the stormwater planters is to beautify the area and to reduce flooding in Main Street. I spoke with the Newberry City Commissioner who has been part of this project since it first came about last year, and for her, addiction hits too close to home. Newberry City Commissioner Joy Glanzer looks at pamphlets explaining the shocking numbers of teens and young adults using opioids. She's concerned about the youth in the city she's called home for 42 years. But Glanzer's battle is also personal. A family member whose name she did not want to disclose had an opioid addiction that started at 18 years old.
And it was a gradual escalation over the years.
Her loved one got hooked after discovering his back pain would disappear with the help of opioids. Glanzer says a doctor told him at 10 years old there was really no hope for his pain to go away without the pills.
And he said, well, there's one of two things that'll happen. He will either learn to deal with the pain or he'll become a drug addict.
He's been clean for about 18 months now, but the community's fight is far from over. The Alachua County Health Promotion and Wellness Coalition does not have any specific numbers on Newberry, but they say almost 10% of middle and high school students reported abusing prescription pain relievers in their lifetime.
And I think once we can turn around the image of an addict, I think it's going to help greatly towards healing it.
Jordan Marlowe is the mayor of Newberry and is also a teacher at Newberry High School. He knows the feeling of losing a teen to drugs all too well. One of his former students became addicted to opioids and ultimately took his own life. He hopes the task force will bring together a variety of people who have knowledge on the subject.
It may be someone who dealt with addiction before and can help speak from a personal level. I think we also need experts. We need people that deal in health, mental health profession.
Glanzer is excited the whole community is fighting the epidemic together.
Well, the opioid epidemic is savage, and we need to get in the trenches and declare war on it.
From the parks to the trails, small but important additions are in the works with the help of Gainesville residents. City architect Sarit Sella says these open houses are designed to help define the unique character of Gainesville's park system down to the details.
The bike rack, the trash receptacle, the bench.
During the interactive meeting, people were able to put stickers on the designs they like and write a note if they wanted something that wasn't shown on a poster.
And I think it's important that people express their opinions and be a part of it as best they can.
Bill Berger has lived in Gainesville for 10 years and says,
your park systems reflect on community standards and community thoughts.
Simple designs like the shade sails at Depot Park or the new trail connection into the park are just some ways community input can really improve a public space. Sella says all those small details together create a memorable time for visitors.
It is important that we use the public input to create a holistic experience.
Sophia Corrigetto is a sophomore at the University of Florida and is happy she gets to be part of it all.
Being that my background is in urban planning, I really appreciate these efforts to get into the community and ask for design input.
The improvements are possible because of the local sales tax for wild spaces and public places.
So there's lots of different moving pieces and parts. It's almost like a puzzle that we put together.
Gainesville's Community Redevelopment Agency is about to add 5 new pieces to the construction on South Main Street, stormwater planters. Some of the purpose of the stormwater planters is to beautify the area and to reduce flooding in Main Street. CRA manager Andrew Meeker says all the water from the road will drain to a landscape bed of cypress trees. This will help the plants get water and keep the area well treated.
So the idea is to first slow down the water and then treat the stormwater before it goes into our stormwater system, ultimately into our wetlands, and then into our aquifer that then ultimately then becomes our drinking water again.
Ulrich Construction Superintendent Brad Patterson says the key is to first slow down the water to let nature work.
It's going in a storm basin, it's being treated by the earth, and it's just one other method. It's just that instead of just thinking in a pipe, it's being treated by the ground.
Meeker says this project is all about recycling.
Trying to make sure that every drop counts, that we can not only focus on the economic development of an area, but also the ecological preservation of an area as well.
The project will add more than an acre of green space to the South Main Street corridor.